Okay, so I tried to dance my way in here. That didn't really work too well, but welcome to my review. Today, guys, we're taking a look at the brand new Bose Ultra Open. Yes, these are the earbuds you've seen that Bose had a partnership with Kit. They basically hang on your ear like they are earrings. And they're very unique and they are very different into how they actually shape up. So before we go ahead and take a look at how it stacks up against the competition, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification icon, you know the deal, so you can watch more videos like this. So speaking of what Bose has brought to the table with the Ultra Open Earbuds, these are very unique. They're priced at $299, so in terms of price points, this is up there. But how does this stack up against the competition? Let's take a look at the hardware itself before we jump in. It comes in two different colors. You've got this white or off cream, if you will, as well as also a black variant. The case is very simple. The earbuds actually rest on the top of the case. You can see it there. It's got an indicator in front. You've got a sync button in the back. Does not have wireless charging. And now you're going to be going, wow. Yeah, I know. I kind of asked them the same question, but we'll talk about that in a second. Battery life is pretty interesting with this. You've got USB charging on the bottom. With the buds basically giving you 7.5 hours of playtime if you're using them just regularly, or if you're using them in the immersive mode, which we'll talk about, that gives you about 4.5 hours. Now, it does have a 48-hour standby time, which means you can rest them on your ears and you can use them for that long intermittently whenever you actually use them. Now, the case does give you 19.5 hours as well, so you do have a lot of battery life on this to actually add up quite well. Now, design-wise, the Bose Ultra Open are very unique. The way they hang around your ear, they don't go inside your ear, they go around your ear cartilage here and they rest. They look like clip-on earrings, honestly. And Bose has talked about unique styling and differences they actually want to use these buds for. They're very comfortable. Honestly, they are. I've used them for multiple days, just on end. I've used them for actually probably around 2 weeks in general, but they feel very comfortable on the ear and they don't actually hurt in any way. Now, if you're one where you're used to using things like the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro or the Airpods Pro, which are in-ear buds, then you know there's a stark difference. If I take this off right here and I take, say, my AirPods Pro, I put them in, they go into my ear. These are in-ear buds and they go right in. And for some people, that's uncomfortable. Same thing with, say, the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, even though it's smaller, still goes into my ear. So you kind of see that there. The Bose Ultras are basically probably the most comfortable earbuds I've ever used. When you look at them, they're very small, they kind of roll up. They've got this elastic separator between the earbud drivers and then the battery and the control center. So the battery is basically this drum center in the back that's got a silver button on top, and that's what you use for all your controls. And then you've got this other hard shell side that basically clips around with the drivers. So this is a separate unit. And again, to put it on is just a boom, clip, you're done. They rest there and they are very comfortable. So I think in design, they are unique. I wouldn't say they beat out, say, the AirPods Pro or the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, but they bring a very unique design that is probably the most comfortable pair of earbuds I've ever worn, hands down. So what about use case scenario? So I've used this in the gym, I've used it to work out, and I have to say it's super, super comfortable. Whether I'm doing heavy lifting or doing heavy weights, or even whether I am doing just on the jump rope and just jumping and doing some very ferocious exercises, they don't fall off. They just hang and they stay. That's probably one of the best parts I like about it. The only time I've noticed where it was about to fall off was if you're wearing a sweater and you're pulling it up, you're going to basically pull up against it and it's going to hit it and pull it over. That's the only time I'd experienced it where it actually wanted to fall off, and it didn't. But in all my general use case scenario, whether it's working out or at home or just shaking my head violently, which you should not do, it stayed, and it stayed quite well. Okay, so we know it's comfortable, we know it hangs pretty well. What about the main things here? What about audio quality? Let's start off with that. That's really important. And I think this is where it's quite unique and different. And because these are open ear headphones, again, open ear, these don't go into your ear like in-ear buds, Judging sound is a bit different for them. I think when you're looking at just pure sound quality and also fidelity and also maybe just more bass, you're gonna get it off the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro and the Airpods Pro. It's just a given fact because those drivers are going directly into your ear. This is a bit different. Now, bass is not as good as I would like, but again, it's good enough. And you can mess around with some of the audio settings with the app itself. They've got a nice little app that you can jump into that shows you the buds you're using, what song you're listening to at the moment. And when you go in, you see, of course, your battery indicator for both. You have your sources, if you have different sources of music. You've got your modes, stereo and immersive. Stereo is your standard, and of course immersive is basically spatial audio tracking. And that immersive audio can be used either in the still function if it's stationary or motion. So you move your head to the right, you can hear the sound coming from a different angle. So maybe drums behind you, percussions in front, that kind of thing in there. And of course you can just turn it off if you want to. Then you also have your EQs, which you can customize, which I have done to increase the audio fidelity for me using them. And then you have shortcuts and tips. So it's a very simple and straightforward app in that scenario. And why I brought that up is because you can go into those EQs and you can customize a bit more in there to give you a better audio feel. Does it beat out the other two? No. It's just a matter of fact. But what it does really well is allow you to listen to music and be very aware of your surroundings. So going back to when I'm working out in the gym, I don't have to be lost in the scene completely or into my workout without noticing people around me or noticing what's going on, or walking down the street and not noticing that there are people walking around me as well. And it does a really good job with that. Now, if you're walking outdoors, you most likely have to increase the volume a bit louder just because there will be some bleed. Now, speaking of that, volume levels are pretty good. Now, if you're listening on a normal scenario, whether you're indoors or maybe at the office, you can put on a nice low setting, you'll be fine. But if you're somewhere that's louder, you most likely have to increase that to get more volume from there. The one thing I'll mention is that once you do that, it starts to bleed out so people will hear what you're listening to, whether it's a music or a podcast or anything of that scenario. Now, you're gonna ask the next question, what about the microphones? How good are they for voice calls? They've been impressive. They've been absolutely impressive. I've used it to have calls with different friends. On most scenarios, they have worked excellently. I only had one call the other day, which just didn't work out well. People thought I sounded far away. And once I went ahead and did a software update, it actually fixed the issue there. So I will just mention that I had one scenario where it just didn't work out well, but my full time using it, the microphones worked really well. My conversations were really solid. Now, extras, right? Now, the big extra here is, of course, the immersive audio, being able to track in spatial audio your motion and what you're listening to. And that works well with songs that support that effectively. It does try to do that with songs that really don't, and it's not bad. I think it's better on still than motion when it comes to songs that don't really have spatial audio. But those that do, they work really well, and it's really great, especially with this open ear environment, because you could be listening to someone and then, of course, you're listening to music and it feels like it's coming from one direction or another. It kind of makes sense with that. Now, when you kind of compare it to the other earbuds, you're going, okay, those give me active noise cancellation. This does not. It doesn't have active noise cancellation because they're open ear. And then you can also talk about the fact they do have wireless charging. Why should I pick up the Bose Ultra Open Earbuds? I think for me, one of the best benefits that I have experienced using them is the fact that I'm able to actually have conversations and also just tune down the music, tune it up to the level that I want to. I'm very aware of my surroundings there. And also it's great for an office environment where you can be at your desk, you can be typing, you can be doing work, and you can listen to music at your own pace. But if, say, a colleague calls you, you can answer, or even at home, you have kids running around, you're working at home, it's a work from home environment, you're always aware of everything that's happening in the home, but you can quickly answer that phone call directly with these. And I think that's where it really shines. Now, I'm sad it doesn't have active noise cancellation, and I'm very disappointed it doesn't have wireless charging. That part, I think, should basically be a standard. It does have fast charging USB Type-C, but again, it's just something that, honestly, they should have it. How do I rate these earbuds? I think they're really solid. At $299, it's a bit expensive for a lot of people, but I've thoroughly enjoyed them. I do like the audio quality out there. I do know there's some competition out there. I know Huawei has something, I think with the Huawei FreeWire, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name, that is similar to this, but I haven't tried them out, so I can't really compare them. But comparing them to what you use with your standard earbuds like the Airpods Pro and the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, they're very different and in very different segments. So it's not really a fair comparison there. But on its own, I think it's a solid product. The $299 price point is a bit high. I would have liked something closer to $200 instead of $299. But if you're looking for something like this, I think they're awesome. And I want to see more colors from Bose, whether it's gold, something that's more accessorized, but I honestly use them all the time. I've been using them for all the videos I've been doing this last couple of weeks. I have to take them off, of course, for the videos, but hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you enjoyed the bloopers in this video, if there are any. But if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, use the link down below to pick this up, and always enjoy your entertainment. Back to some music.